Wike is from Rivers State, and his identity has often been a subject of much debate. People have long tried to label him as part of the larger Igbo ethnic group, but he has persistently rejected this notion. You see, this rejection isn't just a simple matter of saying, "I'm not Igbo." No, it's much more complicated than that. This is a political statement that speaks volumes about identity, regionalism, and the way ethnic labels function in Nigerian politics. And it is a story that's tied to the deep cultural and political landscape of Rivers State, the Niger Delta, and even beyond. Wike, in his recent statements, emphasized that he is not Igbo, but Ikwere. And for many, this might seem like a trivial issue, but it's far from it. Wike's insistence on distinguishing himself from the Igbo community reveals a deeper issue about ethnic identity and the politics surrounding it. For those who aren't familiar, the Ikwere people are a distinct ethnic group within the Niger Delta region of Nigeria. And while they share certain cultural similarities with the Igbo, they are proud of their own identity. And that's what Wike has been trying to assert. He is Ikwere, not Igbo. Now, you may ask, what's the big deal? Why does it matter so much? Well, let me break it down for you. Ethnic identity in Nigeria is a political tool. It's not just about who you are, it's about where you come from and what that affiliation can do for you in the political landscape. Wike's rejection of being Igbo can be seen as a tactical move, one that is aimed at preserving his political base and his influence in Rivers State, where the Ikwere people hold significant sway. By rejecting the Igbo label, Wike is distancing himself from any political or social expectations that might come with being part of a larger ethnic group like the Igbo. He doesn't want to be seen as a part of the Igbo political machinery, which he might feel could limit his independence and political leverage. It's a smart move, but it's also one that has stirred up controversy. We all know that Nigerian politics are often defined by ethnic divisions. The major political parties tend to carve up their support base along ethnic lines. So, when Wike rejects the Igbo label, he is essentially saying, "I don't want to be a pawn in the broader Igbo political game." And for some, that's a problem. For others, it's a declaration of independence, a refusal to be defined by ethnic constraints. But here's the thing. Wike's rejection of being Igbo doesn't mean he's turning his back on Igbo people. It simply means he's drawing a line in the sand, one that says, "I'm from Rivers, I'm from Ikwere, and I'm going to chart my own path." For Wike, it's about asserting his regional identity in a way that strengthens his political position. He knows that by aligning himself closely with the Ikwere people, he can solidify his standing in Rivers State, which is critical for his political ambitions. But let's take a step back. Why is this such a big issue right now? Why is this identity debate coming up now? After all these years of Wike's political career, it's because Wike is at a crossroads. He's a key player in Nigerian politics, and many are looking to him for direction. He's been rumored to have presidential ambitions, and if that's the case, the ethnic identity issue becomes even more significant. If Wike wants to position himself as a national leader, he can't afford to be seen as someone who is easily pegged into one ethnic group. Nigeria is a country of many ethnicities, and the ability to unite different groups is key to a successful political career. So, by distancing himself from the Igbo label, Wike may be trying to send a message that he's not just another ethnic politician. He wants to be seen as someone who can represent all Nigerians, not just one ethnic group. But here's the kicker. While Wike may reject the Igbo label, there are many who argue that he's only doing so for political reasons. They believe that deep down, Wike knows he has strong ties to the Igbo people, and that his rejection of the label is a strategic move to maintain political support in the Niger Delta. It's no secret that the Igbo community is a powerful political force in Nigeria, and Wike knows that if he's seen as fully Igbo, he could lose favor with other ethnic groups. So, is this about politics or identity? The truth is, it's probably a bit of both. Wike's decision to reject the Igbo label is a political calculation, but it's also a personal one. He's trying to navigate the complex world of Nigerian politics, where ethnic identity plays a major role in shaping one's career. But by doing so, he's also sending a message that he's not going to be boxed in by anyone's expectations. As we move forward in this discussion, I want you to think about this. Does ethnic identity still matter in Nigerian politics? Are we still defining our leaders by their ethnic backgrounds, or are we ready to look beyond that and focus on their vision and leadership qualities? Wike's rejection of the Igbo label raises important questions about how we view ethnic identity in the context of leadership. It challenges us to think critically about how we define ourselves as Nigerians and whether we're ready to embrace a more inclusive definition of what it means to be a leader in this country. Now, as we dig deeper into Wike's decision, let's consider the reactions from the public and political figures across Nigeria. It's no surprise that Wike's stance has sparked a lot of debate. While some have applauded him for standing firm on his identity, others feel that his rejection of the Igbo label is a slight to the Igbo people and could have long-term political consequences. For many Nigerians, ethnicity is still very much a defining factor in political decisions. So when Wike makes a statement like this, it's bound to stir up emotions. The Igbo community in particular has always had a strong political presence in Nigeria, and any indication that a prominent figure like Wike is distancing himself from them can be seen as a challenge to their political influence. But here's the thing, Wike is no stranger to controversy. Throughout his career, he's made bold decisions that have sometimes put him at odds with other political heavyweights. His rejection of the Igbo label fits into this pattern. Wike is a master of political strategy, and this move could be part of a larger plan to position himself as a more neutral figure who can appeal to a wider audience beyond just one ethnic group. And let's not forget the context of Nigerian politics today. The country is in the midst of a major political transition, with President Buhari's administration coming to an end and the 2027 elections on the horizon. There's a lot of speculation about who will rise to the top in the next election. And Wike's name is often mentioned in discussions about potential presidential candidates. His rejection of the Igbo label could be a way for him to stand out in what is likely to be a very crowded field. By distancing himself from the political baggage that comes with being identified as part of the Igbo community, Wike could be positioning himself as the candidate who is above ethnic politics, someone who can unite the country rather than divide it. But there's a flip side to this. While Wike may be trying to appeal to a broader audience, he risks alienating a significant portion of the population, particularly in the southeast. The Igbo people are a powerful voting bloc, and if Wike's rejection of the Igbo label is seen as a betrayal, it could hurt him in the long run. There are already reports that some members of the Igbo community are disappointed by his stance, and if he's unable to repair that relationship, it could cost him politically. So, how does this play out in the next few years? Well, that depends on how Wike navigates this controversy. If he can convince the Igbo community that he's not rejecting them, but rather asserting his own regional identity, he may be able to turn this situation to his advantage. But if the backlash continues and grows stronger, he may find it difficult to recover from the political fallout. One thing's for sure, Wike is a political survivor. He's been through the rough and tumble of Nigerian politics for years, and if anyone knows how to play the game, it's him. Whether or not his rejection of the Igbo label will pay off in the long run remains to be seen. But one thing we can say with certainty is that Wike is not one to back down from a challenge. Now, I want to bring this back to a broader conversation about Nigerian politics and the role of ethnicity. In a country as diverse as Nigeria, where hundreds of ethnic groups coexist, the question of identity has always been a sensitive one. But in recent years, it seems like ethnic identity has become even more politicized. We've seen how ethnicity plays a huge role in elections, from the presidential race down to local elections. So, when a major political figure like Wike makes a statement about his ethnicity, it's not just a personal declaration. It's a political move that has far-reaching implications. We've also seen how regionalism plays into these. Nigeria's regions, north, south, east, and west, each have their own political dynamics, and ethnic identity often dictates which region a politician aligns with. Wike, by rejecting the Igbo label, is not just distancing himself from the Igbo ethnic group, he's positioning himself within the political dynamics of the Niger Delta and the South-South. And that's something we have to understand as we look at his political future. So, what does this all mean for the average Nigerian citizen? Well, it's a reminder that our leaders are constantly negotiating their identities, their alliances, and their strategies. Wike's rejection of the Igbo label may seem like a small issue to some, but it's a reflection of the larger forces at play in Nigerian politics. It shows us that identity is not just about where you're from, it's about how you use that identity to navigate the political landscape and secure your place in the future. As we look ahead to the 2027 elections, it's clear that identity will continue to be a major factor in how Nigerians choose their leaders. Wike's stance on this issue may just be the beginning of a broader conversation about the role of ethnicity in our politics. Whether or not he's successful in his political ambitions will depend on how well he can balance his regional identity with the broader national conversation about unity and representation. Now, I want to ask you, the viewers, how you feel about all this. Do you think Wike's rejection of the Igbo label is a smart political move? Or do you think it's a mistake that could cost him in the long run? Let me know in the comments. And remember, if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on any of our future content. We'll be keeping an eye on this story as it develops, so stay tuned for more updates. Until next time, keep the conversation going, and remember, politics is always evolving, and so are we.